Hey, welcome back to Pretty Girl Movies, the channel where I'm not sugarcoating a damn thing. If it's a bad movie, I'm gonna tell you it's a bad movie. If it's a good movie, I'm still gonna laugh about it, but I'm gonna tell you it's a good movie. And today we're talking about Another Simple Favor, the sequel that nobody really asked for, but we got it anyway. So let's get into it today. First of all, I do want to say I had high hopes going into it. Like, I actually liked the first movie. Sure, it's corny, but it was a good corny. It's entertaining. This sequel, though, it just tried to do way too much. And, it felt like it was four different movies happening at once, and none of the plots were fully developed. And so I walked away with a lot more questions than answers, which made it really hard to actually even enjoy this movie. And let's start with my biggest red flag here. Emily's outfits. What was she wearing? Like, I get bold fashion. I really do. But this wasn't bold in any good way. Like, her wardrobe didn't fit her character at all, especially considering how well her style worked in the first film. This time, though, it was giving like a 1920s mobster one minute, and then like the big floppy hat and Sarita Capri the next, and then Stephanie's over here in jorts, and it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It didn't add anything to the non-existent plot, anyways. And speaking of the non-existent plot, they just took the storyline of, like, Emily's just got out of jail. She's marrying a rich man in Italy, and oh no, her supposedly dead sister is actually alive. That alone could have been a solid movie. I would watch that. But no, no. Instead, we get Dante being part of an Italian mob family for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And then he died, and Sean died, and it gets brushed aside like nothing even happened, even though I think it was supposed to be more shocking than what it was. Like, I don't know. But how can it be shocking when we're decided by Blake Lively acting as Charity? I mean, I can only focus on one disaster at a time. Like, how am I supposed to... No, let's talk about that. Blake opposite herself, it just did not work, okay? She has no chemistry with herself. And it showed big time. Like, every scene between Emily and Charity had me cringing, like, especially the time where they reunite for the first time and Charity's carrying this like creepy little doll. Like, I get what Blake was going for with the character choice, but it didn't land. And I mean, who can blame her? With all the legal stuff she's going through right now, it's probably hard to focus on creating a layered character. But good God, I don't want to see that ever again. And I don't like to kick a woman when she's down. But I don't want to see that ever again. Yeah. Moving on. There's also Dante's mom kidnapping Stephanie, and that was just, huh? Like, it wasn't believable at all. Same with Emily randomly showing up to save the day and beat up people. Like, sure, go off, I guess, but it didn't feel believable. It felt weird, and I just didn't see them as an actual Italian mob family. It didn't give off that vibe. Emily, I'm sorry. What are you, a spy? Um, I just it was not believable, and it was so weird. And I think we could have cut that part out. But I also wish they given more screen time to Dante and his lover, because I think that could have been like a really interesting angle to go at, especially in the mafia context. But they touched on it for like 5 seconds and moved on, and I think that was just a missed opportunity. Like, can we get justice for that? But thinking about Dante, can we talk about Michael Maroney? I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but his acting was best way I can describe it was doorknob. Like, he looked good, sure, and he did nail his Italian lines, but go figure. But that's about it. It was giving us nothing. Give us nothing, King. Go for it, I guess. Power to you, but he's just a pretty face. Yeah. Um, sorry I'm jumping around here too. I'm just kind of like talking about everything as it comes to mind, like the whole sister twist thing. That was barely developed. Like, out of nowhere, we're kind of told, oh yeah, my mom's crazy sister, Aunt Linda, who I've never met before, just ran off with my sister years ago, and they're suddenly back to run a scam and commit murder because Aunt Linda is tired and ready to retire from scamming men. Like, what? And then he spent like 5 seconds on it. Like, I counted. It was literally 5 seconds on it. And then it just didn't make any sense. It didn't give me enough of a context clue to even begin to break down that home family situation, but whatever. Also turning Sean into this drunk creep who masturbates to Stephanie in the shower was for what? Like, what did that add to the story exactly? Like, the best analogy I have for this movie actually is like, it's like an unfinished blanket, okay? You got all these colorful threads, and you're making something that could be really great, and you just give up on it because, why bother? And then you try to sell it anyways, hoping someone will buy it. Someone bought it. And, I I really didn't want to spend the whole time dragging this movie, but I did say I would be brutally honest, and truth is, they should have just left A Simple Favor alone. Like, let it live as a great one-off, because this sequel was completely unnecessary, and I wish I could take back the 2 hours of my life that I spent watching it, because that's a long 2 hours for an, an unnecessary movie. But that being said, I have to give credit where credit's due. Anna Kendrick does deserve an award for carrying this entire film on her back, basically. Like, she gave it her all. And I will try to end this on a positive note. I did like the first 10 minutes of the movie, actually. The intro was strong. It did grab my attention. But you lost it the rest of the 90, 120, whatever fucking minutes. Sorry. Overall, it's just definitely skippable. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got for the simple favor. If you liked it, good for you. I'm not judging, maybe a little bit. But for me, it's definitely a no. So let me know in the comments if you watched it, if you survived it, and if you're also confused about the 1920s mobster fits and the stupid twin drama. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss it next time I talk about a movie like this. And just see you next time on Pretty Girl Movies.